for coming along, and respect to the traditional owners whose land we're on, and respect to all you mob for coming along. So it's probably only a matter of weeks or a couple of months before the shit really hits the fan, and Ferguson announces that he's going to dump Australia's nuclear waste on the Muckaty Land Trust. As I said, most of the traditional owners are seriously unhappy about this. As you can imagine, they've got plenty enough issues and plenty enough problems without having Australia's nuclear waste dumped on their land, and without having to deal with this wedge politics, this divisive politics from Martin Ferguson. So we've got a big responsibility to support Diane and all of her mob who are fighting so hard in such difficult circumstances. And I think here in Ferguson's electorate, which most of us live in, we've got an especially big responsibility to get active and get informed. So that's partly what today's about, and what some of the other events that we're doing are about. We've been working on this campaign for so many years now. For a long time we were fighting off plans to dump nuclear waste in South Australia, supporting the Cooper Pedy, Kunga Juda, Cookatha and Bungala and other traditional owners, and we had an awesome victory. It was 6 years, it was really hard work. For 5.5 of those 6 years we didn't seriously think we would win that campaign, but we were persistent, Kunga Juda were persistent, and it was a really famous victory and a really inspiring victory. So we can stop this nuclear waste dump plan in the NT, but we've got to be persistent, we've got to be active, and we've got to be angry.
As Jim said, yes, we have had some victories, but it's worthwhile reminding ourselves, you know, that we're standing in the electorate of Martin Ferguson, who is returned with one of the safest margins, the safest Labor margin in the country, which is abysmal given the sort of stuff that he's doing, which if people in the electorate realised the damage that he's causing the environment, and the average person in Batman understood the implications of what Ferguson does in his everyday work in the interests of the coal industry and the uranium industry, they would be absolutely appalled. My feeling is that he doesn't really want to work for the electorate. He wants to work for his buddies in those industries, and to protect what he understands is the best way for Australia and the world to move into a future in which he doesn't rule out nuclear energy. He does at the moment for Australia, but in all his actions he's tilling the soil for the next coalition government to start nuclear energy production in Australia. So I think the stakes are fairly high in this seat. It's unlikely that Rudd will negotiate with the Greens. He seems hell-bent, literally hell-bent on negotiating with Turnbull. And so I think over the next few weeks we can just hope and pray that Turnbull's the coalition sort of stance collapses and into a whole lot of different little shards, and that the CPRS fails to get up, because once that legislation is enacted, it's going to set us on a path, an unproven path, the one that's failed in Europe, of trading emissions which protect big business and big polluters. So we, if you wanted to do anything apart from your anti-nuclear activism over the next few weeks, yeah, maybe you could send some negative energy towards the coalition in terms of trying to scuttle their plans to, get amendments up to the CPRS.
I'm just going to do the rhyme that we do when we kick protests and stuff like this, because it's fun. There's a bit of music, and Madeline and Yael are going to join me. It's a rhyme that I wrote out, if anyone hasn't heard it before, on the way to and probably from the desert last year when we went out to Roxby Downs and to Beverley Uranium Mine. Let's go, my crew, we gotta do what most wouldn't do. Jump in the truck on two, clickety-clack, you won't look back. You wanna come to cruising black, we're heading towards the Oonadatta track. Chuck down your swags, it's time for a fire. This kind of life I will never tire. From sleeping under the star together with the mob, and we got no dollars, but it's better than a day job. Calculate all that it's worth. It's cold, big business taking care of the earth. CEOs underpointed out here, profit ain't money, it's an educated ear. So we throw as a wisdoms and teaching and the likes to all of the communities we pass like the night. Strike out the passion of this war, let the people of this country know what we're fighting for, cause we're going to explore truth some country. Branded radioactive.
Like the lost generation, you never had to say it.
Branded radioactive.
Like the lost generation, you never had to say it.
Branded radioactive.
Like the lost generation, you never had to.
On the horizon there's an industry just waiting for your brain. Renewable resource delivery without the pain. Have the guts to invest before you to the test. Sit back and watch his country be one of the best. After you've reviewed the human rights policy and admitted the money was all you wanted to see. Just maybe Australians could be free and not governed by a party that dragged them down deliberately. Treat them like an experiment, mining the heart out of a land and paying no rent. Treating Aboriginal people without respect, forgetting this land was black before white. Watch the torment as decisions are made with no valid consultation. The laws getting laid. Watch your propaganda prance around like some parade in the media. And they're branded radioactive.
Like the lost generation, you never had to say it.
Branded radioactive.